Hey everybody, welcome to the Penniless Dreamer, where the name says it all. We're penniless, we do have dreams. I'm your host, the Penniless Dreamer. I was trying to do something, and I didn't want to do what I'm going to start doing, because I had another idea in mind with what I wanted to do with this channel. But since we're at this point, we're going to switch gears a little bit, and this is what you're going to get, and I hope you guys all enjoy it. I'm going to try to enjoy it. Doing all this, I am stepping out of my comfort zone, and it's still really awkward for me to do this in video and everything I'm doing. I'm getting better at it. I am. I'll admit that. Today I'm going to talk to you about fate, or destiny, or your path in life. When I was in 9th grade, way back when, and you can see there's a lot of gray hairs there, I knew that I didn't need the schooling that was ahead of me anymore, really. Oh yeah, you're going to say, oh, you need your high school diploma. Yeah, it shows you completed something. I could read, I could write, I could do adding and subtracting, multiplication and division, basic stuff. Yeah, my writing's terrible on punctuation and spelling, but I can get the point across. I knew that school wasn't for me. I knew that I was going to be a ditch digger. The world needs ditch diggers. I knew that me going to college wasn't going to happen, as I couldn't get my homework done in grade school, middle school, or high school. What makes you think that I'm going to get it done in college? Yeah, so that wasn't going to happen. But I knew I was going to, the world needs laborers or ditch diggers or whatever you want to call us, We're out here, we do the job every day. We're unseen, but we're there. So I knew that the schooling wasn't for me. So by the time I came around to 11th grade, and I had taken the DARE class for the second time. Yeah, I was new back then. I sat down with our guidance counselor at school, Mr. Winters, and had a conversation that kind of went like this. Mr. Winters, I see myself in the future as a ditch digger, as a person out there working. School isn't going to do anything for me anymore from here on out than it's going to do that it has done now. And I only have another 2 years left, but graduating isn't going to make a difference in my life other than maybe opening doors, opportunities, but I didn't ever saw that in my future. My dad was a log truck driver. I could drive truck, work on things. I knew I was headed in that direction. Why do I need a high school diploma to drive a truck down the road? As long as I can do the job, you can get a job doing it, support my dad's family, and raise me. So there's nothing wrong with me looking at that way. But I also knew that the drugs in the world, because this is my second time in the DARE program, we're talking 11th grade, alcohol in my family was like revered upon. It was so bad. My dad loves his beer so much, even to this day, that he had a bar put in his house with a keg and an extra one in the shop in case the one in the house went empty. So there was always beer at my house. But I knew that if I ever went down the road, that it wasn't going to turn out good. And Mr. Winters sat there and he goes, well, just don't do it. And I said, I don't see it being that easy, Mr. Winters. I see it me being at parties or wherever out and about. And at this point in time, I had a pretty sheltered life. I wasn't out and around all the people at school and hanging out with them after school or on weekends. I only had a couple of friends, and even at that point, we didn't hang out all that much in 11th grade. So I had a really sheltered life. But I knew once I got out into the world that I tried pot, I would love it. Because I liked drinking back then. And my family, like I said, wasn't no big deal. I got drunk with my cousin and had a vodka bottle bounced off my head. After that, my dad said, just don't lie to me about it. Don't go out on the weekends drinking with your friends, which I really didn't have many. If you're going to drink, you can sit right here at home and drink. So for me, grabbing a beer was nothing at 16, 17 years old. Was no big thing. But I knew the pot and drugs, because going through the DARE program, gosh, man, if alcohol is just fun, what are drugs like? The day after my 17th birthday, I got kicked out of high school for knocking a band instrument over with my backpack in English class, because we went to the band room to watch a movie. The teacher and I didn't get along anyway, but she threw me out of the class, and then I ended up getting thrown out of school for 3 days. Well, let's just say that turned my life around right there, because that was the last night that I lived at my house. Went home, put on 5 pairs of pants and long underwear and 5 pairs of socks and 15 t-shirts or whatever. I walked out the door going to work and never came home. 2 or 3 days later from that, smoked my first joint. Oh, that was a funny one. I'll tell that story later on. This is just about fate and destiny. Now, I knew this. In 9th grade, I knew I wasn't going to graduate high school. By 11th grade, I knew I wasn't going to graduate high school, because when I walked out of the house, I went over and lived at my grandma's, and she said, well, you're going to live here, you have to go to school. No problem. I went to the new school. They pulled my transcript up, and this is January of my 11th grade year, so halfway through the 11th grade year, and they pulled my transcript up, and at the new school, the guidance counselor looks at it and looks at me and goes, you need 9th grade Pacific Northwest, you need 9th grade biology, you need 9th, 10th, and 11th grade English, you need 2 history credits. Goes, if we can get you on a plan now to catch you up, you'll probably be here 1 more extra year to graduate high school. So instead of graduating in 1989 like I would have, I'm looking at 1990. That was my last day of high school. Speaking as, public high school. We'll get to that later on. And I started smoking pot. Now, when I went to the new high school, I quickly found the in the park before school crowd, and I was a clean cut, above the ears haircut. Here's the money, go get your haircut, or you're not eating at the table kid. I literally looked like a undercover cop, if you want to say. 21 Drum Street come in mind? Yeah, that was me. When I went there, nobody wanted to give me the time of day. Nobody trusted me because, of course I'm new. And the first person that trended me, Bruce Zorns, love you, brother. He's the first one. Yeah, man, I'll take a chance here. Come get stoned, So my life changed at that point. Now, I didn't know how much it was going to change, but it did. I got opened up to the world of alcohol and then drugs right away. It was just pot to begin with, like to say. Pot's a stepping stone. And yeah, I guess it could be, but alcohol is a stepping stone. And it's okay, it's all right drinking, but pot, Anyway, back to the fate thing. I knew that this was what was going to happen. I don't know how to explain that I knew it, but I knew it. Ninth grade, I knew that I was going to be a ditch digger. My career has turned out wonderfully because I do have the brain to where when I do things, I get them and go, especially working. I'm a heavy equipment operator and started out, and here I am. Ditch digger, heavy equipment operator. I can build you a roadway. I can build you a house pad. I can hook up utilities. I can build a house pretty much because I've done almost all those trades. It's just that I knew. And then I knew that if I ever went down that drug path, pot, and had that conversation with Mr. Winters, that I knew that, I was on a road to wherever. I didn't know what it was going to do, but I knew. And when I died, and you've seen the video, I hope, if not, go back and look at it while I'm doing this. My outlook in life at that point changed, and this was just before this, a couple of years, so I'm not sure where I'm going with this. It's just fate. Do you ever feel it? Do you ever know that, something's not there or not right, or the choices you make, to turn left or right? I mean, these choices in our lives, everybody says they're choices, but how do we know if they're not choices? What if they are destiny or fate, or however you want to look at it? We think we made the choice to turn left, but were we supposed to turn right? And we didn't because fate said we need to turn left, and that's where you're supposed to go? Because you have something to learn? And I believe that's all what it is. We're on this planet. Our souls are here to learn something. Either through past life or whatever, or the future of what we're going to after our physical body dies. But I believe that those things are set there for a reason. And it's to point us down the paths that we have a lesson to learn. And if we don't take that left and we decide to take the right instead, we don't learn the lessons we were supposed to. We get these nudges in our lives, and that's God or the Almighty or whatever you want to say. And He nudges us in the direction that we need to go. When we buck the system, that's when our problems in our lives happen. Divorces, losing your jobs, whatever. Just because you lost a job doesn't mean it's the end of the world or anything. Losing that job was the opportunity to go to the next one or whatever. I've had lots of jobs just because of my past history, But was that past history set in stone? And that was my fate and destiny to be where I'm at today? I believe so. If you listen to those intuitions, and you have to really pay attention and listen to them, it tells you what direction to go. Maybe I've been fighting my little YouTube thing here for too long and trying to do what I'm not supposed to do. And I'm supposed to be doing what I'm going to start doing. And everything will come around and do good. I may have been fighting this because I haven't wanted to do what I'm going to start doing. But I think that's the left turn I was supposed to take. And instead, I took that right. So that brings us today. Enjoy what's coming. I'll start putting these up a little more regularly, I think. It's just going to be things that I can talk about comfortably. Things that I've been told, hey, you need to write a book, and lots of people have told me this. A lot of people that have only known me 3 or 4 days, oh, dang, dude, you need to write a book. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, I can't hardly write a paragraph, let alone a book. Doing this and trying to make scripts and stuff for this YouTube thing just isn't going to work out. It's just got to come from the heart and the head. So this is what you're going to get. Anyway, folks, I got to go to work. I now return you to your regularly scheduled programming, and have a nice day.